Now with episode 7, I have to say this was a pretty interestingly structured episode for a few different reasons, because if you do rewind a few weeks back, the show really wasn't focusing that much on the main objective. It was doing a lot of here or there things, and that was fun. But how they've been structuring the past few weeks, it definitely feels like we're getting the first half of an episode or the last half of an episode really focusing on the main objective, the gold, the tattoos, the treasure hunt, and then they use the other half of the episode to do all the other things that the show has been introducing. The kind of weird off comedy, the cooking show aspect, the cultural, the history, everything else like that, and it's interesting how they've been structuring this, and this week's episode was pretty fascinating because it definitely didn't go in the direction I was thinking. I thought this definitely would have been much more action-packed, but I do like the direction they went with this hunter and the whole wolf, basically, kind of side story that was going on here. Now, what I like is the fight pretty much ends more or less where the episode ended off. Sugimoto gets pretty much suplexed, girl gets captured, Escape King pretty much is screwed, everyone's seemingly screwed. But then they ultimately escape because, of course, we have the Escape King. You tie him out to a tree, Sugimoto and him are gonna get the hell out of there. But how they directed it was interesting, because I don't like the hunter's mentality of just, hey, this is the last wolf, I'm going to be the last person to kill it. He's just a trophy hunter, I don't like that mentality whatsoever. But it was interesting how they directed it, because you have just him saying, like, I'm going to take this guy out, and you're expecting, at least for myself, that you're going to hate the guy, you're just hoping the wolf bites his neck off and just ends his life. But how they actually direct it, where you see Retar kind of like sprinting towards the tree, trying to rescue basically his master, I guess is how he would look at her. But then you kind of see that he's not the typical just bolt directly at a human. He starts dashing, he understands what a gun is, and you can start seeing the respect in the hunter's eyes, saying like, you really are worth being my opponent here, the last wolf. You really do deserve that title. And then when you see him actually just strike him down, you can actually see the pain. Like, obviously it's animated, but I felt the way they directed the scene, like, you saw the blood, you saw just the way they shook the camera, everything about that scene. It was like, damn, that has to hurt. But he never took a shot, so I was like, are they seriously gonna kill Retar? Because I don't want this wolf to die, I would much rather this hunter die. But then you see the second strike, and it was the most unexpected moment, because it's almost like both sides got their victory in their own way. Like, yes, the hunter dies from the wolf, but it's almost this level of respect, like, you really were worth being my last opponent, and his dog coming in, it's like, it was interesting how they were able to direct a scene that I was expecting I was going to be very happy that this hunter died. And yes, I am glad he's dead and he's not going to cause any more trouble, but it's interesting how they were able to get this element of respect. It was interesting how they actually directed it, and then also kind of the hopefulness at the end, not just from just seeing that the wolf had a family, like all this time that he has a life beyond that, and there's a sense of hope, but then you also saw like the respect in the hunter's eyes. It was interesting and very fascinating to me that they're able to direct a scene that I was very much expecting to hate the hunter the entire way through, and I was like, huh, that actually has a level of respect, and I actually felt like both sides came to a satisfying conclusion in a very interesting way, and I wasn't expecting the first half to go this way, but I'm very happy it did. It was a very entertaining and very emotional kind of first half, and then it transitions back into the cooking, the comedy, and things like that. But I have to give note, when they do go into like the cultural side, like when they're given the history lessons pretty much, I absolutely adore how they actually direct the art style, like the still frames that they'll show. It's interesting how they keep the style of art design that they're using for the entire show, but they do just scale it back and they detail it in a way that it actually feels like it's coming from the past in this world. It's really interesting. I really do like the detail to the art design. I've complimented the background design a lot with these reviews. I absolutely adore the background art. It's definitely my favorite background art of the season. But I do like those kind of flashback moments where you see just still frames of just the, hey, these are the people who took the gold or things like that. I absolutely adore all that. But now that we've completed 7 episodes here, we got 5 episodes left before this season wraps up here. I have to say, I actually do like the direction the show has been going. Like, in the earlier episodes, I know some people were feeling like it was a little hit or a miss because it didn't really feel like it had a solid footing, like it was doing so many things but not doing the main objective enough. But I do like how they're directing this now for the past few weeks. I really do like how we're getting like half an episode really focusing on the main plot. Near the end of the episode, we get introduced to the samurai guy again. We get introduced to a full metal alchemist looking character just running through people, smacking them around. Feels like he's invincible, but it still manages to feel like the episodes have importance while also being comfy and fun all at the same time. And this really doesn't feel like any anime that I've seen in quite a while. Like, I really do appreciate the fact that you can't really look at this anime and say it feels exactly like this. Like, you can say, okay, yeah, some of the comedy feels maybe like a JoJo or a Fullmetal Alchemist kind of humor, but the actual subject matter and the culture and like the way they're actually going about directing these episodes, it doesn't feel like anything I've seen in modern anime, even in retro anime, to be honest. Like, I really do appreciate that this is standing on its own two legs, and even though it has elements of other anime, the way they execute and blend in all these elements, it doesn't feel like anything I've really seen. And I think that actually helps to make this feel like a very unique and just engaging experience, because you can't compare it in my books to really anything else. So it just makes you want to see what the hell it's going to do. So when these episodes have all these random elements, it doesn't really feel like it's bad in any way. Like, even if some of the elements aren't your cup of tea, it's just interesting to see how they execute it and feel like how perfectly the comedy and the serious moments blend together in a way that I don't think they should blend together that well, but somehow they do. Like, this episode, once again, another fun episode. I wouldn't put it as one of my top favorites or my top 3 or anything like that, but I did like how it had that level of respect in the final battle there between the wolf and the hunter, and then just kind of all the other individual blends that they did from the comedy, the more cooking elements, and once again, the miso jokes. Miso jokes just, for whatever reason, aren't getting old in my books, which is kind of weird, but I actually really adore it. I'm interested to see what the new antagonists here that we're going to be focusing on, probably for 2 to 3 weeks, are going to present. Definitely some dangerous foes. I mean, the Escape King and just trying to run away, trying to get other people involved, kicking horses to try to stop this kind of like Hulk-like guy. It was really entertaining, and I have to say I actually did appreciate learning a bit more about the 7th Division and why this other group is after the gold. And you can actually look at them and say they might deserve the gold a bit more because they did really get screwed out of a war. Like, they fought for their lives and come home and basically get the middle finger. But it'll be interesting to see how the gold is going to play out over the next few weeks, where everything's going to go from here, and just what these new side villains here are going to present to the table. But another good episode. I enjoyed it. Wasn't the best of the best, but definitely a damn fun episode nonetheless. Let me know what you're feeling. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know what you're feeling down in that comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, and if you're new, also be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.